Hello, everyone. This week, I was asked a few questions about doing dimensions and how do you get association to work. So the first thing that I want to show you is that when you come over to your dimensions, look in your dimension style box over here, and make sure you pick the right dimension style. For my case today, I'm going to be using the AEC Common Arch Dim Slash. So this is an architectural dimension with slashes. So if you want to see what that looks like, it has slashes. Now what's nice about dimension styles is that they are also annotative. So if I come to utilities and change my annotation scale to something that's maybe a little more visible to you, maybe we'll go the other way. There we go. So now at 1/16 of an inch, this text is a little bit easier for you to see. But, okay, so now I want to make this stuff associative. So what do I got to do? First thing I need to do is come down here and look at my locks and make sure that graphics group is turned on. So if you see it highlighted, graphics group, make sure that is turned on by being highlighted. If it's off, it won't be highlighted. So I'm going to turn that on, make sure that's on. The next thing I'm going to do is come over to my annotate tool and start my dimensioning. The thing I need to look at here is after I pick my style, I need to come down and turn on association. So this association will make it so that when I dimension something, it it reflects whatever the changes are on the object itself. So notice that it says 49 feet 10 and 5/8. If I were to change this line and make it shorter, the dimension also changes with it. So since it's associated, it makes it lock to the item itself. Now what's nice about that is that we can come in and do other things with this association lock. So maybe I want to dimension not between one object but between two different objects. So here I have two different lines and I want to attach to one and I attach to the other, and what would happen is if I move this other line, that dimension locks to it. So that's kind of handy. It makes those items always dimensioned accurately. But there's another thing that I kind of played with this week is that not only can you snap to endpoints of lines, you can also snap to intersections of lines. So if I come over here and snap to the intersection of this line and that line, and then I snap to the endpoint of that other line, what I can do is when I move this line here, notice that the dimensions reflect the intersection point, no matter where that intersection point is. So that's really handy. Another thing that you can do is dimension to the nearest point. So when I do that, if I dimension, let's say, from the end point of this line to the point nearest to that point on that line, if I change the length of this line, it's going to be a percentage. So if it's 50% or 75% of the way, it's going to always be nearest to 75% of the way along that line. So you'll notice that the dimension changes depending on the length of the line, and it really doesn't matter how long the line is, it's always that certain percentage along that line. So there's a couple tricks for using dimensions that is kind of important to realize, that you can snap dimensions to multiple items. It doesn't really matter what you snap to. Intersections, nearest points, end points. It doesn't matter what you snap to. It's going to maintain that association to those objects and where they're associated to.